And it's amazing how, like, one thing that I think a lot of singers struggle with is wanting to be heard above the music, above everything that's going on. And for him, he's not pushing to try to be heard over everything. He did an amazing job coming from that massive climax to now coming back to a whisper. Something that's very interesting that he does in this part that I haven't heard much of before.
Run, run, lost boy, they say to me.
Hey everyone, Mishan here, singer-songwriter and vocal coach, and it's been a while since I've done any DIMASH reactions. Here we go. Stranger. I love this instrument. Wow. What an interesting sounding instrument. That was so cool. In true DIMASH form, very, very theatrical here. Wow, what a build-up. What a build-up. Like, how many singers do you know have people in a line with candlelit, like a vigil that they're doing on stage to introduce the song?
You crown as far as I can see.
Wow, that's amazing. Like, for those of you who don't know how quiet he's going, because obviously he's using amplification here, but he is singing so quietly that at certain parts, his vocal cords threaten to not vibrate. Like, and he doesn't push, he doesn't force. Listen.
Crown as far as I can see.
Like, so breathy. That's incredible. Not easy to do and massively nerve-wracking to do on stage where you don't get a second chance if you screw up.
Who I am if I have the strength to begin again.
Awesome. So this is something that you don't see a lot of pop singers do. What I mean by that is one thing that I've noticed with a bunch of different singers is that they'll have their original song being like the studio version be very, very soft and very quiet. But then when they come to do it live, because of all the energy and the adrenaline running through them, they end up changing the way the timbral quality of their voice because they end up using a lot more volume as they're singing. Whereas DIMASH here is not doing that. He is keeping true to exactly what he wants the song to sound like, regardless of the theatrics around it and the intensity of being on stage in front of thousands of people. He keeps very true to exactly what he wants to sing. And I love how he's building here. He's building so beautifully from like the quietest sound you could possibly make up into a more fuller kind of crescendoed sound.
I'm wearing my heart in ancient times, I wondered.
I mean, his range is beyond. Like, that is a very haunting, scary low notes. Like, those are the ones you would expect, like, Tim Foss to be singing, and DIMASH is singing it. It's insane. But it's not just the fact that he's singing low notes, it's the quality he sings those low notes with. It's almost this like, it's a scary, I don't know like scary is the right word, but it's like extremely dramatic and intense sort of quality to it, a timbral quality to it that like a lot of singers, even though they might be able to sing low, don't necessarily sing with that kind of level of intensity, and I guess theatrics is kind of the best word to put it. Wow, and so here he's holding a lot of weight for his voice. So his voice likes to, I mean, he does so many different like he's able to manipulate his voice so incredibly. It's very hard to say that his voice wants to do one thing, but he thins out very, very well with his voice. But here he's choosing to keep it really thick. And even though he's going super thick with his sound, he's not losing his release, which is extremely hard to do. See, like most people would not, if this was their first time seeing DIMASH, they would be like, those are not the two same people that sang the lower part and then this part. This part, it's incredible how different his voice sounds, yet it's like, it's still connected. It's not that it's a massive disconnect where, you know, for most singers that their head voice is way disconnected from their chest voice. That's not the case, but it almost sounds like a different person singing. Listen to those whistle notes.
New ground underneath my feet.
And it's amazing how, like, one thing that I think a lot of singers struggle with is wanting to be heard above the music, above everything that's going on. And for him, he's not pushing to try to be heard over everything. He did an amazing job coming from that massive climax to now coming back to a whisper. When your voice is used to going so loud, it's very hard to come back to that whisper because it's like such an opposing quality in the voice. It's very hard to do.
Don't know who I am if I have this way to begin.
If you guys are interested in, you know, just being able to obviously approach the idea of the flexibility he has of range. Now, I can't guarantee everybody's going to have DIMASH's range, but I have a free lesson down below that you can click on. And there I go through working on flexibility and building not only a flexible range, but also strength in that range that you have. So just like look at just listen to the difference and the amount of contrast that's built from this part to this part.
Have this way to begin.
Like so breathy, so light. So full. Something that's very interesting that he does in this part that I haven't heard much of before. Either he sings in more the bright, wide approach to singing or this darker, more rounded approach. But here he switches between them. Yeah, so that part is much more rounded, but then he widens for this part. Still rounded. In a strange, very, very wide. Look at how wide his mouth is. Wow. What a finale high note. Oh my God. Talk about ending at a climax. That's insane, man. Holy mackerel. Wide, wide open, high larynx, no strain.
Браво!
Спасибо огромное! Спасибо большое. Люблю вас сильно.
Bravo is right. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please click on that one. You're going to like it too.